Television. We're also live on Facebook at Pan-African Television, on YouTube at Pan-African Television, as well as 48 African countries. You can join in the conversation by sending in your views, comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp stroke text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. My name is Justice Appiah, and tonight on Hot News, we are looking at two major issues. The very first one is about some 60% shares in hotels belonging to Snit. You know that this issue came up. There were a lot of talks on the matter to an extent that demonstrations were held. There's a new twist to that particular issue, and this time around, he says, my son bid between $150 million to $200 million for Snit hotels, but his bid was not accepted. And this is coming from Freddie Blay. Now, the story says a former national chairman of a New Patriotic Party, NPP, Freddie Blay, has affirmed reports that his son wanted to buy shares of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, in some hotels advertised in 2022. Speaking in an interview on a sister station on June 24, 2024, the former NPP national chairman stated that his son, a big player in the tourism sector, submitted a bid of not less than $200 million for about 7 SNIT hotels, but his bid was not accepted. Even though Mr. Blay did not mention the currency denomination for his son's bid, numerous reports indicated that the bidding was done in United States dollars. Blay, who is the current chairman of the board of the Ghana National Petroleum Company, GNPC, made this revelation while refuting the allegation of state capture by his son, Kwame Blay, who has been accused of illegally acquiring the Labadi Beach front. Of course, so this is emanating from the quarters of the former chairman of a New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay. He would want to say that, well, they've done no wrong. They've not captured any state property. And so nobody should accuse himself and then the son of state capture. And that the son even bidded for the 6 SNIT hotels. He was willing to give as much as $150 million and $200 million. Yet it wasn't actually given to the son, but rather to the Agric Minister, Brian Acheampong. You and I know the issues that are unfolding with regards to the sale of 60% shares in Snit hotels to Mr. Brian Acheampong. Another story that we'll be looking at on the program tonight is about what Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has been saying. He said, I passed as vice president. Promote me to president. Bawumia urges Ghanaians. Do you believe that this statement is true? Has he passed as a vice president? Do you think that he deserves to be voted for as the president of the land? The story says Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia highlighted his track record, claiming he initiated and championed 33 cutting-edge policies as vice president under the Akufo-Addo administration. In contrast, the presidential candidate of a New Patriotic Party, NPP, stated that his opponent, John Mahama, cannot boast of a single policy he initiated during his tenure as vice president and president. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia argued that this accomplishment demonstrates his capability and makes a strong case for his promotion to president of the Republic of the upcoming December 7, 2024 elections. He made these remarks while addressing members of the New Patriotic Party in the United Kingdom at a fundraising dinner dance. It goes on and on and on and on. These are two stories we are going to be looking at very soon. We'll be going into the 2024 elections. A lot of people have now put themselves up to be voted for as presidents of the land. John Mahama of the National Democratic Congress, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia of the New Patriotic Party, Alan Kweju Trematin of the Movement for Change. You have Cheddar, who also came out with his own party. I don't know if the Kwiadon cause and the likes will also be joining, but we are yet to see. But so far, the two major persons who are at each other's neck or necks is former President John Dramani Mahama, who is the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the current vice president of the land, who is leading the New Patriotic Party into the election. Now, this is what the vice president has said.
What did you just say?
Sorry?
They are the what?
I'm
two what?
Two major
who made them the major
candidates.
No, how can you draw such a conclusion when we are going into a major election in December that everyone is going to start from point zero?
Two major candidates at each other's necks.
No.
Necks.
No. You cannot qualify them. This business of media trying to narrow this whole contest between Mahama and Bawumia will be resistant with the
that is what he has always been.
It has not been because you did not have a formidable candidate in the person of Alan John Kojo Chemate.
Okay.
So if it will only be fair, as of now, we don't even have candidates because no one has even filed with the Electoral Commission. We are not too sure whether Vice President Bawumia, looking at what is happening in Kenya, to Ruto, who promised so much and delivering less, would even be filing. So let us be mindful of that.
Okay.
And let's give equal opportunity to all the aspirants.
Right, so that was Mr. Solomon Owusu. But I've been joined in the studio tonight by Mr. Solomon Owusu, who is a member, Movement for Change, and a former member of the New Patriotic Party. So how are you doing?
By His grace, I'm doing well. But you are so fixated. Can't you leave the past for
Aren't you a former member of the New Patriotic Party? Of course,
but it's not a title. It's a former title. When you begin to have former as part of your name, if you don't take it, you don't get anywhere.
I see.
Let my name be current. I'm a member of the Movement for Change. A proud one as such. A proud one as such.
Okay, all right. Member of the Movement for Change, who some time ago was defending the New Patriotic Party on all platforms.
Why not?
Right. Also in the studio with me is Matthias Alagbo. He is the Volta Regional Youth Organizer of the Opposition National Democratic Congress. My brother, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Just it's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been in the region. You've been working hard.
We've been in the trenches. Yeah. You know where we've gotten to now. There's no other choice than to work hard to redeem the Ghanaian people from the current state of oppression, state capture, theft, and the plunder of our resources that we've been subjected to. So everybody is busy doing their job.
Right.
As an organizer, my job more lies, as a youth organizer, my job more lies in the trenches, and that's where we are.
Right.
But it's good once in a while to come to your show.
Very well.
And it's a pleasure.
I'm glad you are here. I'll start with you, Solo, on, I don't know which of the two topics you would want to touch on first. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says he has passed as the vice president and that he needs promotion. He needs to be voted for as the president of the land. Just as he's been saying, Fastiano, mami stiano. Well, he thinks that the steer must be given to him. He needs to steer the affairs of this country come 2025, and that he must be voted for. Do you agree with him? Freddie Blay, he's also saying that, well, his son bidded for the 6 Snit hotels, now 4, and he was willing to give as much as $150 million to $200 million. Yet, he's not been selected as the best, bidder, and then it was given to Brian Achampong, and that they are not involved in any state capture, and so nobody should refer to them as such. Which of these two would you want to start with?
So let me start. First of all, let me greet Matthias and your cherished viewers across the length and breadth of this world, especially all Movement for Change members who are poised for a famous victory come December. Let me deal with the issue of the vice president saying he has passed the test as a vice president, so must be given the opportunity to be the president of the land. I am not too sure the level or the kind of criteria he is using to pass himself, because you would remember or you will recall that the NDC lost election 2016 to the NPP based on certain indicators in the economy. In 2016, when the NDC had performed abysmally by the Ghanaian standards, their inflation was 15.4%.
Right.
In 2016, when Bawumia was giving all the lectures from Valley View University to, what's the name of the other one? Central University, the cedi to the dollar was 1:4.2. In 2016, when the Ghanaians thought that John Mahama had not performed creditably, Ghanaians were going through an era of doomsday. In 2016, when the Ghanaians said the NDC was not performing,
right,
the debt to GDP was hovering around 73%. In 2016,
okay, when
the NDC was put out of power, the prime rate or the policy rate of the Bank of Ghana was 25%. In 2016, when the NDC was not doing well, the unemployment rate was 8%.
Okay.
So for the vice president to tell the people of this country that after 8 years, he has performed creditably, then it will only stand to reason that these indicators that I've given to you, we would find a better one today,
okay,
to justify that call. Unfortunately, I am not happy to report that the vice president has done anything that must be considered, for which reason he must be the president. As we speak, inflation that was 15.4 in 2016 is now 23.1%. So he has rather increased our inflation by a factor of almost 8.
Okay.
The cedi to the dollar that was 1:4.2 is now 1:16. If you go to Abochi, it's 17.5 cedis.
Oh, it's got into 17 cedis
Yeah,
already.
Abochi. The Abochi has the dollar. It's
Black
not the
market?
banks. Yeah, that is where the dollar is. Forget about what the banks are telling you. They don't have the dollar.
Okay.
As we speak, the unemployment rate is at 14.74%. Debt to GDP, 104%. How they say it's 88%. It's a fallacy. In an era that we said the John Mahama administration was not doing well, which I agree performed abysmally, there was never a haircut to our mothers and fathers. Pensioners have had to enjoy haircut because of a reckless and incompetent governance led by the head of the economic management, who happens to be the vice president, who is saying we should give him the presidency. He alone, as the vice president, told the good people of this country and by extension the graduates that he had a solution to their plight, the problem of joblessness, and so was bringing what you call NABCO, Nation Builders Corp. 2.2 billion choppable Ghana money was given to the vice president to invest in that enterprise. I am unhappy to announce to you that that 2.2 billion has been expended, no positive results, and the graduates or the graduates that enrolled on that program are now calling on government to pay back.
But Dr. Bawumia is saying that he has a track record.
What track record? I'm giving you his track record.
That he has championed and initiated about 33 cutting-edge policies as vice president.
We are very serious in this country. This reckless talk, that is why Kenya is in flames.
Okay.
Ruto spoke a lot of things, gave a lot of promises. When he came, when he lied to the people of Kenya, he turned around and started increasing taxes to the extent that he intends to put 16% on bread. Give us our daily bread. Ruto wants to take it out. And so the people are bent on, they are not interested in burning the parliament house. They want to beat the parliamentarians,
right,
for their recklessness. Who doesn't know that the vice president has lied to the people of this country, deceived the people of this country, that when the fundamentals are reached, the exchange rate will expose you, that he was coming in to correct this misdeed? Has he been able to deal with the issue of exchange rate? Has he been able to deal with the policy of moving Ghana from taxation to production? We have been taxed out to the extent that COVID is no more. We have been declared a no-COVID country, yet we are paying taxes on COVID. So why has he performed? Look, under his regime, under his watch, rice that was imported into this country by an innocent businessman was taken and given to his office to be shared to people who were fasting. Look, PDS, government of Ghana by extension, but the Parliament of Ghana approved that deal that said bank guarantee must be a condition. He changed it to what? Insurance guarantee, and even made it conditions subsequent. What else can we say? What
talk of inflation, exchange rate, and all of that. This government has explained over and over that exogenous factors contributed to the current state of the economy. You cannot discuss this without talking about COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war, and other external factors that we encountered as a country. In fact, the world encountered.
Only 2 days ago, the Russia-Ukraine mantra that we have been preaching, the president of the land went to Ukraine to meet the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. The country that was facing all the brunt of bombs, our president went there to beg the president of Ukraine to be feeding Ghana. What a shame. And when the president went there, he was in his beautiful suit, whereas that man was in his simple dress. We are going to a country where bombs are flying left, right, center, to beg for food, when we have fertile lands here. Because the minister that is supposed to be responsible for your agriculture is busily buying hotels.
So whilst we are complaining that their conflict is affecting us miles away, we are now going to the people who should be suffering.
So you see how God exposes the folly in us thinking. You are now in Ukraine begging for food. Meanwhile, you have been telling Ghanaians that our nemesis, our challenges are as a result of what is happening in Ukraine. So how were their farmers able to farm in the midst of war to be feeding you? Lazy thinking.
We are not lazy, we are sick.
Very lazy, and we call ourselves Your Excellency. What are we? What is the President Excellency?
Right.
That the people of this country, the youth of this country, are living in this country in their thousands, tens of thousands. Every morning, go to your backyard here, the Abelempe traffic light, you see more than 1,000 people wanting to leave the shores of this country to Canada. Say, Your Excellency. You are excellent because Ghanaian youth are living in this country.
So, in other words, are you saying that the vice president has not done anything?
He should not even be thinking of picking. You see, my greatest worry is that the vice president will be picking a form, nomination form, to want to be the president of this land.
He's a Ghanaian.
You see, we have
qualified.
In
the
terms
Constitution states clearly who
Yes.
qualifies to contest for presidency.
No, he does not qualify. Having led us into this bad taste of governance. If he's able to explain to Ghanaians how he could use 2.2 billion on graduates for nothing, that we have nothing to show for, then I will take him serious. There must be laws in this country to bar people who get the opportunity of being vice presidents and mismanaging the affairs of this country. Look, the vice president is not the head of the police council,
right,
or the chair of the police council. Every report that the Ghana Integrity Initiative has released over the years puts the police as the most corrupt institution. If the police is corrupt, then what can you say about the council? Because it's the council that gives policy direction to the managers of the police.
Okay.
So if the police is corrupt, then what about the council? You understand? So the vice president must not be entertained. We are in a serious... See, when we
are you saying that you've not seen the digitization and digitalization agenda initiated and championed by Vice President Dr. Bawumia?
To the best of my knowledge, he holds a PhD in economics. Since when did PhD in economics tend to be digitalization. You understand? In any case, we have a ministry responsible for communication and digitalization, and I'm waiting for the day that minister will turn around and come and tell us that she has done something. And what digitalization are we talking about here? Ghana post address or postal address that costed this country almost $5 million or so. Are we still not using our Google? Before he started his digitalization mantra, Yahoo, when you go to Fadama, they get you inside, they were doing digitalization. He has not done thing. Take it from me. This is a serious election that people of this country look at your poverty situation and do not go and play with the election 2024. Because the mistake you make on the 7th of December, you have 4 years to correct that mistake. Kenyans have made that mistake and they want to correct that using violence. We are not going to use violence. You must use your God-given talent and the conscience to vote for a credible candidate. And here I'm talking about Mr. Lanchamanti. No doubt about that.
Right. Kindly step down.
You want us to box the two topics, or we should just...
I'll come back for the next topic.
Okay, then go.
All right, so that was Mr. Solomon. Also, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Please share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Don't forget to leave your suggestions, questions, contributions, and all of that on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter at Pan African Television. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you who are watching us also can, leave your suggestions, questions, contributions on our WhatsApp/text line. Let's display it right there. Okay, so you can send your messages via our WhatsApp/text line, and I'll be reading those messages out for you. Now, let me come to you, Matthias. Vice President says he has passed as the VIP and that he needs to be promoted. He needs to be voted for as the president of the land. And he has compared his vice presidency to that of former President John Dramani Mahama. And he has made a case that he, under his watch as the vice president, has championed and initiated about 33 cutting-edge policies. That same could not be said about former President John Dramani Mahama as a vice president and a president of this country, or the former president of this country. How would you respond to this from the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia?
Well, let me use the opportunity to say good evening to our viewers worldwide, and especially to the good people of the Volta region and the youth that we work with daily. And Justice, I believe that the fact that Vice President Alhaji Bawumia see himself worthy to stand as a candidate in the 2024 presidential elections in itself is a scandal.
The vice president,
yes,
putting up himself to be voted for as the president of a land is a scandal. How is that a scandal?
It's a scandal.
How is that a scandal?
That should not have happened in the modern political history of Ghana.
But you're not being fair to the vice president.
But unfortunately, no.
If you look at the constitution and its provisions,
I am being very fair.
It's
and
qualified.
I will tell you why. You see, prior to 2008 elections, when now then candidate Akufo-Addo opt for Dr. Bawumia to be his running mate. As the members of the New Patriotic Party and even now the president himself have stated, and is now an open knowledge, at the time Dr. Bawumia was not even a card-bearing member of the New Patriotic Party. He has nothing to do with the NPP, so his choice was resisted. The case now President Akufo-Addo made for Bawumia was that he was a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana who helped President Akufo to transform the economy of Ghana, and that he was bringing Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia into government, or to come and be his vice president, so that he can fix the economy, and that he, Akufo-Addo, is not an economist, but he has every confidence in Dr. Bawumia. So you can forget about everything to judge Dr. Bawumia just on the basis of our current economic circumstances. Are you getting me?
Right.
And do not forget that a time during a period like this in 2016, Dr. Bawumia was hopping from one tertiary campus to another. In actual fact, tertiary campuses of that perceived that kind of like christened themselves to be neutral, but were actually doing the bidding of the MPP at the time, created a platform for Dr. Bawumia to be shouting from the rooftop, to the point that he has come to earn the name now as Wale Adam Smith. And all that means is that Bawumia is credited to be a good economist whose leadership as chairman of the economic management team of President Akufo-Addo's government will actually champion our economy and take it from the point of taxation to production, to create factories, to create jobs, to provide proper good governance structures for our country. But today, what do we see? The man who told us at the time that it was a scandal, that it is unheard of for the dollar to be exchanged for 4 Ghana cedis. At the time that we were buying a liter of petrol for 3 cedis 45 pesos thereabout, the same man told us that life was hard with those fundamentals at the time, that we should elect President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia and everything will be fine. Today, what did we see? We have seen a man that has failed in his chosen field, the objective that was set for him, because he read out a name of his economic management team and said that they have the men, and proudly say so. And the fact that he had no conflict with the Akufo-Addo administration as the vice president shows how well connected the two are and how happy their performance together in government has been. And how on earth can Dr. Bawumia now come to tell us that he has done well when our lives are in peril, the hopes of generations are in peril, the economic circumstances of our country is in shambles, and the dreams and aspirations of our young people is belly up? Such a man will have the audacity to come to us that he is worthy and we should consider him for re-election, for election as president. It is a scandal in itself that the good people of Ghana must not tolerate. And you see, as a clear evidence that Dr. Bawumia has failed as the leader, as the chairman of the economic management team of Akufo-Addo's administration, is the fact that having noticed that he has failed in this endeavor, he is now starting to look for other areas where he can go and take credit. I can tell you on authority, I was in Ho in May 2015 where President John Dramani Mahama commissioned an 800-kilometer fiber optic cable that was laid from Ho up to the east, through the eastern corridor to Boku. This critical infrastructure laid down were the backbone of digitalization that President Mahama started championing in Ghana at the time we left office.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said that, notwithstanding all the things you've said, he has about 33 policies to his credit as the vice president. And he has dared former President John Dramani Mahama to produce a single one of his policies as a vice president in this country, to make a case for him to be voted for. Do you have any? Can you tell us a single policy of John Mahama as a vice president?
Only a man that has lost his conscience, that humanity has taken leave of him, will have the audacity to even question President Mahama, or to equalize, or let us say that there should be a comparison. The many promises they have made, they should first and foremost point to us where the one district, one factory have been. What we have in place of that has been one day, one scandal, one corruption, kleptocracy, autocracy, state plunder, theft, plain looting of state resources. Now go and see, when our country, our economy is in a chokehold position, see the kind of lifestyle Akufo-Addo and Bawumia and their co-hosts are living in town. Have you seen state lands being stolen right under our eyes? That state authority, institutional heads were being told to move out because all the money stolen and looted and kept are now being whitewashed through high risings in place on state lands that they are grabbing for themselves. How dare Bawumia that he want to compare himself to President Akufo-Addo? You see, if you have performed well in the economic sphere, that we were told that you are the champion, you are the genius, that you are the one that is coming to make Ghana a better place for us, you will not go and take credit in digitalization where you have actually done nothing. Are you getting me? Now, this is a man, if you have done so well in the economic sphere, you will not go around now trying to introduce religiosity, to introduce tribalism as vehicles through which you think that you can hoodwink Ghanaians to vote for you.
Okay.
If you have done well in the economic sphere, Bawumia will not now go. You know, how on earth will a grown-up man that we all expect? You see, when the ultimate is reduced to the ordinary, that is where you see the likes of Bawumia also play in the space that they are worthy contenders. Because you see, when we talk of statecraft, we talk of leadership of a country, you talk of the position of president, that is the #1 gentleman of the land, whose words, whose actions needed to be subjected to clear scrutiny because it borders very much on the soul of the nation. This man has failed in the economic sphere, Poto. Now, when he likes, he started flip-flopping. The last time he was doing hookup with religion. In the daytime, he want to be Timothy. In the nighttime, he want to be a Muslim. Then he moved to say, okay, now I'm digitalization champion. I am this and that. Look at your life. I just watched on Facebook of a lady dangling 4 pieces of tomato today. That she bought 4 pieces of tomato for 20 Ghana cedis.
One is 5 cedis. That is true. 4
pieces of tomato for 20 Ghana cedis. In 2016, I am from Ziopi. I got to Ziopi.
No, you have to break it down. You know, my mother is from Adan. Adan is one of the places where they plant tomatoes a lot.
Thank you.
You know, it baffles my mind. I felt so sad for. I wouldn't even talk about the ladies, you know, tomato 4 pieces that was at 20 cedis. I went and bought one at 5 Ghana cedis. One tomatoes like this at 5 Ghana.
You see, when my brother here is talking about trying to talk about how to come inflationary rates of NDCs, there, you see, those economic jargons, you can throw it to the people who want to do the Harvard politics.
Right.
To the ordinary man on the street, when we are talking about the inflation, I will invite you to the Facebook wall of my sister, Daniela Matthias. Okay. She will tell you that in 2016, a bowl of Gary was selling for 8 cedis, but Akufo-Addo is selling for this much. And especially with food prices, the inflation, I'm telling you, at least the prices has quadrupled. Things you used to buy for 20 cedis, today you need about 80 cedis to buy the same thing. If you go to the marketplace today, we used to buy several tubers of yam for 30 cedis. Today, even a tuber of yam is selling beyond 30 Ghana cedis.
Right.
And then you tell me that, oh, you have done so well, and that we should look. Do you know what is happening right now?
What is happening? Tell me.
Everybody knows that President Akufo-Addo is vindictive. He's intolerant. Everybody knows that Akufo-Addo doesn't take criticism. But we all know that Bawumia's candidacy, it is Akufo-Addo's attempt to achieve a 3rd term through the back door, to come and protect the state lands they have looted, to come and protect the billions they have borrowed and looted and put into their, some are choking in their bedrooms here and there. They believe that Bawumia can be the person to protect those investments for them. Bawumia is not contesting this election for himself. So he has been conveniently allowed to disengage and virtually to actually take leave of all the failure he and Akufo-Addo has achieved together, and to say that, oh, but for me, when you vote for me, I will do something different. We can just look across our Eastern African corridor here, and you see Ruto. Do you know what is happening in Kenya today? This is a man who was a vice president of Kenya.
Right.
At a point, he broke ranks with his president. and then now went to town to tell the people that he is the champion of the poor. That because he is a vice president, he could not have reduced taxes. He could not have made their lives any better. So when they helped him, he win power. He was coming to reduce taxes and make life very comfortable for the people. The people of Kenya made a grave mistake of their lives and elected Ruto. What do you see today? Ruto came and imposing daily an imposition of crashing taxes that is making life very hard for the people of Kenya. And because the Kenyan people have conscience, they have reason to fight for their freedom. Today, MPs have to run, take a leave of their parliament house because the people have stormed there.
But I think
and what is happening in Ghana?
The
same consultants who advise Ruto are in Ghana advising Dr. Bawumia that, Ghanaians can forgive him if he can distance himself from the Akufo-Addo administration to say that, I can actually come to reduce taxes only when you vote for me as president. You forgot that as chairman of the economic management team, it is Dr. Bawumia's economic management team that have sent proposal for tax increases to cabinet, and it was approved, passed through parliament, and Ghanaians are suffering the brunt today. That man is telling you that when you vote for me, I'll come and reduce taxes, forgetting that when they, upon all advice to stop the ostentatious lifestyle, the excessive borrowing, the reckless expenditure, the imposition of nepotism, greed, and avarice on themselves, for which reason that the Ghanaian people are suffering. They took Ghana back to IMF.
Right.
Have they told you the conditionalities that they have signed on to? Bawumia knows very well that he can't reduce those taxes. And he's lying to us that when you vote for him, he can come and change. We cannot be taken for fools. Ghanaians must be wise and ensure that there's a landslide victory for President John Dramani Mahama, who is the only candidate in the next presidential elections to change the course of this nation for the better. Because why? He has the competence, he has the experience, he has the track record, he has done it before, he's incorruptible, despite the lies and the innuendos of the NPP administration. He has done so well, and right in his lifetime, he's been vindicated, and he will come and hold the feet of Akufo-Addo and his appointees to the fire of accountability, where we will prosecute every criminal, every thief in this country. We will retrieve every state land that is stolen, and we will make sure that the quest of the Ghanaian people to have a better life is never dimmed forever.
All right, thank you so much. That was Matthias Alago. Matthias is the Volta Regional Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress. I don't think that you need to go far. You see, even in this country, when President Akufo-Addo and his MPP were in opposition, in fact, they chastised John Mahama's administration that they were burdening the good people of Ghana with taxes, nuisance taxes, and that when they come, they will change the economy from taxation to production. So going to Kenya, you are going too far. They came back, and what did we see actually? I think that they introduced the e-levy, COVID tax, and all of those taxes that are killing Ghanaians and Ghanaian businesses today. If you go to the port, taxes have been increased, and so people are unable to clear their cars. Recently, we were trying to clear a car from the port. Accra RDX, it costed us 150,000 Ghana cedis to clear that car anyway. And so, I mean, if you go to Kenya, you're going too far. But now, so I'll ask you, why are you not allowing the blaze to rest? Why don't you want to leave their names out of this issue of sales of some 60% in Snit hotels and all of that? Now, this is what Freddie Blay had to say. My son bid between $150 million to $200 million for Snit hotels, but his bid was not accepted. We went. We wanted to bid. You didn't allow us. You didn't accept ours. We went and sat somewhere cool. Now you are accusing us. Why?
So, you see, I have listened to Mr. Frederick or Freddie Blay. Today he spoke to the press, and I have never been disappointed than what I heard. First of all, the allegation
You have 10 minutes for
or
this.
the accusation was leveled against his adult son. Are you with me?
Right.
So why is he the one answering the questions or questions that have been posed to the son? Is he telling the country that he is the official spokesperson to the son, so that whatever he says could be interpreted in that direction? I was thinking the allegations that were leveled against the son, that they are taking the front view or the frontage of the beach, the Labadi beach, he would have disproved it with documentary evidence. But if you go and take journalists, you walk them around, which of the journalists that he went around with knows anything about surveying? You are supposed to produce the documents that suggest or shows that the area that you are claiming you acquired it from the Land Traditional Council indeed belongs to the Land Traditional Authority. Now, why is it that the initial agreement, he did it with the La Palm Royal Beach, but when he decided to take over the place, he decided to go to the Land Traditional Council? Mr. Freddie Blay and the family must understand that where we are as a country, the country is not interested in state capture.
But he says they are not involved or engaged in.
But was he not trying? Is he not the one telling you that he put up a bid of 200 million with a view to taking over four of the hotels? If he had been given, would he and the family not have taken over the property of the state? Because he didn't get, you see, he has come back to tell us that he rather put forward a more juicy offer, that it was rejected.
Yeah, DS actually suits the evaluation that was done.
Absolutely, but the point is that you wouldn't have paid because they realized that what is Snit proposing? Work and pay, come and use the hotel, get money and pay us back. Is it not what they are all proposing? It's state thievery. But Mr. Wasimewu Blay says he's going to court to sue Okujeto. I believe if you will go to court to sue someone, it does not lie in your mouth to be going around, I'll sue you, I'll sue you. That court is there. It's a big place. He himself is a lawyer, fortunately. Just sue the man. So that if it turns out that Okujeto came to lie, then the laws of the land deals with him. But this business of spending money to go and carry journalists to be going around, look, that place that
the apology and retraction would prevent all these.
Apologize to who?
To him and then his family.
If what Okujeto is saying is true, why must you apologize to anybody?
Any evidence, and I've always been asking, any evidence to prove that what they are saying is true?
But the man himself admitted today that indeed the frontage belongs to the son. But what he's saying is that he acquired it legitimately from the Land Traditional Council. That is what Wasimewu is telling us. But I am tempted to doubt Wasimewu. You know why?
Why?
In the days leading to the chairmanship position of the New Patriotic Party, this was a chairman that told the delegates of the New Patriotic Party from constituency to constituency that he was bringing them buses, Toyota Hiace. You remember that issue?
Yes.
Go and ask the constituencies whether those buses, you know,
that he was
giving actually took
buses.
Delegates to go to the port to go and see buses. That these buses, we are coming to give it to you. And they voted for him overwhelmingly. They decided to ignore Stephen Ayesu, who has been part of this party from its foundation stage, formative years, to settle on Wasimewu, who came from the CPP, in fact, joined the MPP somewhere in 2008, because he has shown the delegates that he had buses that he was going to give to them work and pay. That never materialized. So with the benefit of this information, how would I take whatever he's saying as the gospel truth?
Okay.
I will only be behaving like Kenyans who thought Ruto was a credible person, who swindled them, like what the vice president wants to do in this country, but we are going to prevent that. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You come, you say, give us our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. You have come as Ruto and you want to tax daily bread. 16%. We are in this country, the IMF negotiation. Go and read the staff level agreement. The decision by this government to impose reckless taxes on the citizenry were all proposed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia with the able assistance of that lazy governor of Bank of Ghana, Addison, with their henchman, the now International Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta. You know the other one that here, but the other one has gotten another position. Say ambassador at large. Ambassador at low, not large. We are going to chase you wherever you are, that large. Look, what is happening in Kenya on the 4th of January 2011? You remember Mohamed Bouazizi, that Tunisian who felt frustrated in the system and got himself banned to result in the Arab Spring. If the people of this country, together with these politicians who are stealing state assets, stealing state money, do not learn from it, Kenyans do not have red blood cells for Ghanaians who have black blood cells. We all have red blood cells. We have all red blood flowing through us. It cannot be that the citizens of this country will continue to live in poverty when we are living on a land full of honey and gold. What is in Ukraine that our president must go and beg for food? You go there, you put on a very beautiful suit. That suit alone could even feed the people of Konfanochi. Those that are on dialysis, the suit is even more than 4 million.
The kidney patients.
I'm telling you. You see what we are using our money for? And when they come to this country, they say, Your Excellency. That title, Your Excellency, that is what is making presidents misbehave in this country. What are they excellent in? That the people of this country are hungry? December, it will be politically suicidal for the New Patriotic Party to get more than 13%. That would mean that there are a lot of people who are not of sound mind in our electoral register. But I believe the Ghanaian is of sound mind and to go and vote wisely and vote for Mr. Alan Tremanti to implement the great transformational plan that has been spelled out. Have you gotten a soft copy of the transfer?
Not yet.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you.
To me, actually.
We are the only, he is the only candidate in the history of this country as an independent candidate that has put forward his plan, not manifesto. Remember, there's a difference between a plan and a manifesto. The plan shows you how we are going to achieve every policy. Manifesto is a mere promise. I can just get up. I'm going to build 5,000 houses. That's just mere promise. That's what we have been doing to ourselves. This time we mean business. 133,476 Ghanaians, graduates are going to do their national service from August. Ask yourself, those that you are taking over from, those that started their service in 2023, have they gotten jobs? All of them are going to be dependent on their parents. And guess what? These their parents who are pensioners, they have gotten their monies locked up with government and they have been given haircut, whether you like it, Sakura or Punk, this government has given it to them. Now, to make matters worse, this Minister of Finance is a lying Minister of Finance. He must change his tongue. Today, I saw, and interestingly, the front page of Graphic, they say we have been forgiven 4.1 billion.
Yes.
How can you lie to the people of this country? How can deferring payment amount to forgiveness of debt? This business that these lying government appointees continue to perpetrate must be the reason why this political party, together with appointees, those that are yearning to go to parliament, must all be kicked out so that we get credible people being legislators and Allah leading them for us to be in the promised land. I end it here.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Solomon, also member Movement for Change. Matthias, kindly take us home. Now we are looking at, Freddie Blaze's statement made to the media that they are not involved in any state capture. That the issue of the Snit hotels, his son, actually bidded for between $150 million to $200 million, but his bid wasn't accepted. And so the issue of Blaze, capturing state assets, engaging or involving in state capture and all of that shouldn't be something that, should be accepted and all of that. Your take on that?
Thank you, Justice. You see, this whole brouhaha that is centered on the wrongful acquisition of state lucrative assets, i.e. the hotels, by the elements of this looting brigade of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia.
Looting brigade.
Looting brigade. I have every reason to proceed from the point of commendation for Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. I need to commend this young man and to salute his bravery, his courage, his tenacity, and fearlessness, because we live currently in an environment where if you talk about corruption, corruption chases you. Domelevo tried to fight corruption and he was yanked out of office. The likes of Manasseh have to flee from Ghana because they dare to pursue a fight against corruption.
Right.
But this young man has been in the arena and he's been doing this, and I just want to salute him and the good people of North Tongue and the Volta region. And I was at the demonstration.
You have just 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure. I was at the demonstration. Yeah, and
but I'll plead for an extra 10 minutes.
Yes,
please, kindly
and to also salute Honorable Kwame Agboja, that's the minority chief whip,
right?
Who was with him, plus so many MPs on the day he led the demonstration with organized labor, the chiefs and the people of the Gan state, the Gan youth, and all well-meaning Ghanaians that turn out in their numbers.
Right.
They deserve commendation. You see, the revelation by Freddie Blaze today raises more questions and that need answers, because we were told that Snit chose Rock City as the bidding winner to purchase those lucrative hotels at $61 million because he was the highest bidder.
Right.
But today, Freddie Blaze has come to more or less tell us that no, my son, he's 33 years old. He has been in business. He has been working well in tourism sector as well. He bidded between $150 million and $200 million, yet they refused to give it to my son, and they give it to Rock City.
And in fact, the 150 and 200 million is supposed to be the value of these. When it was evaluated, that was the amount we are supposed to be giving it out.
So
the 61 million. So if somebody comes up to give such an amount of money, and you have rejected it for 61 million.
From this moment, every well-meaning Ghanaian must support Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa to pursue Snit to do full disclosure through the RTI, Right to Information Bill or law, to provide us the evaluation report.
Right.
Because as we know, Rock City was not able to file their tax returns in 2021, 2022. So per the Snit own laws, Rock City should not have even been qualified to actually put in a bid, let alone to succeed at winning. Are you getting me?
How did they arrive?
Oh, of course,
this Rock City Hotel.
This is just one aspect of create, loot and share.
Okay.
It is just one aspect of the plunder, the state capture. If you see the Jeopardy document, the MPP, the Chim Sakawa boys, as some people have christened them in time past, are well bent, with so much immorality, with so much clandestine and so much gangsterism, predatory looting of state assets to the point that they don't care. So virtually, this issue is only taking speed now because they were able to sack the past Director General of Snit, who was not helping them enough to capture these lucrative assets. So they brought in Osafo Mafo's son, who was appointed as Deputy Director General at the time that the father told the young people of Ghana, that we should stop looking for a job in the public sector, and that the public sector was full. But he found a job for the son as Deputy Director General. A few years down the line, he was promoted to Director General to actually supervise the sale of the only well-performing hotels that are giving life to pensioners through Snit. These guys want to take these hotels to themselves. Right. They want to own it. So virtually, Freddie Blair is crying foul because they are just a group of hyenas. They are a group of thieves who have seen a carcass. And now it has become a matter of, how do you call it, the survival of the fittest. So the biggest hyena in the room, who have more reach and more shoulders, those in power. That is Osafo Mafo, the Brana Champon, and Osafo Mafo's son actually spreading the affair so that they can steal the hotels and then own it.
But you said something that I think that we need to rehash. The statement by Mr. Freddie Blair,
yes,
has actually made nonsense of Snit's statement that in fact Rock City was
sold to the highest bidder.
Exactly.
Are you getting me?
Because obviously, if somebody
this is not new to MPP.
If somebody
at the time they sold Vodafone, Ghana Telecom.
Excuse me. Of course.
Don't forget the company bid 1.4 billion, but they give it to the British this thing for 900. So I was about to say that it's because of the kickback. But this particular one is a total haste. They just want to lift it for themselves.
I was about to say that. So if somebody offered between 150 to 200 million dollars, and we never accepted the person's bid, we rejected that one for $61 million. There's something must be wrong with us.
Don't forget Labadi Beach Hotel alone. Labadi Beach Hotel alone was making a very juicy profit, well into hundreds of million cedis, to the point that Labadi Beach Hotel was able to pay gratuity to government over 20 million and was able to pay dividends to its shareholders. So this is a cash cow that the big boys in the room want to take for themselves. Now you, a former chairman, through your 34-year-old son, you want to come and take. What is $200 million to them? The Labadi Beach Hotel alone, within a year or two, is enough to generate the income to pay to get that $200 million. And it is not about protecting state assets. It is not about disposing of non-performing state assets, because as Honorable Kujato Ablakwa has said the time with that number, the books clearly show that if you want to talk of Snit investment that are poorly performing today, one of them is STC. Are you getting me? That is making on average 30 million Ghana cedi loss a year. But they are not going to save that. They are only interested in saving a GUC one. Alfred Blake, they managed to go and grab the seafront to deny Labadi Beach Hotel the right to own a beach. When you call the hotel, it's called Labadi Beach Hotel. So after owning the beach, what do? You go and carry the assets in addition. And the big boys in the room, the bigger thieves are saying, who dare you? We take over this. And then they want to give it to themselves, and they cook that, Rock City bidded highest, 61 million. But you see, because this hyena, the Blairites have lost out, they have come to expose them. That is why the full disclosure of Snit about all documents related to Rock City, the bidding process, the evaluation report, it must come out for us to properly evaluate and see the companies who actually bidded. We need to know all of them. And then we need to interrogate them. How does Rock City that is failing should be a company that is very capable to come and take over a company that is doing so well? You are failing at managing yours, but you are now seen as the capable one to come and take a company that is doing so well. Well, it is a clear state capture. It's a clear state capture. And
truly African.
Many thanks for joining us. Those of you watching us across the 46 other African countries via satellite, we are extremely grateful. Those of you